dear friends, welcome back again. We are so happy you popped over again to see what we are up to today. Of course, for everyone who is new here, welcome. We are Janny and Dyanne, and we hope you enjoy what you see. And if you do, of course, we hope you take a little bit of inspiration with you. For everyone who is here and is not subscribed to our channel, we hope you will click the red subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and tick the bell so you will be notified every time we upload new DIYs. Like we always say, enough talking, let's jump in today's inspiration. And you see already, we have our supplies on the table like we do every time. I have here my tumbling tile blocks and I use the smaller blocks. I always say, if you have 4 until 5 packages in your home, in your stash, then you always have enough for the DIYs we're making. So I never can say how much I use because I make the DIY along the way and I don't know how much it will be. So always make sure that you have 4 until 5 packages laying around and you have all you need. And of course, these are the smaller blocks. I have here the paint, the creamy white, the red and the blue, because we are still a little bit in the 4th of July. And we have my container with everything I need, my scissors, markers, brushes, some twine, some Mod Podge, and of course the wood glue. And I use the brand Pattex, but you can use any brand wood glue because it's only make sure that it is kind of a cheap brand, because don't spend too much money. I have here, of course, my old piece of kitchen towel, which is wet to wipe away the glue we need. What we're going to make for today, we're going to make a lantern, but a lantern with a twist. I made a lot of lanterns already because it's one of my favorite things to have in my home. So I always love candlelight in the evening. So I am always a person for the, of course, the lanterns. So we're going to make a lantern. We will see how this one will turn out. So we are going to start with the bottom and the top from our lantern, because we in this needs to dry. We're going to get our jigsaw and we're going to saw a round out, but first we need to dry it. And you can also do it with your hand saw, or maybe you can ask someone if you are a little scared of doing it yourself. I use the jigsaw from the Lidl, how you call it, and he is very inexpensive and he is so nice to work with. I can even do it with my hands. So I hope if you have a Lidl or Lidl, just go ahead and look for it, because you will be having so much fun with it. And it's so, you can do any possibility shape you like. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have a piece of 7. We're going to do again another piece of 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. And we do 5 pieces of 7. So it's very easy. You see already I have 1 too many. I am already almost there. And of course, a lot of you, not everyone likes to see how I am going to count them, but for everyone who is here and always love to see how everything is step by step, like I always do, that's for every people I do it. If you don't like it, just skip forward. So I have, if everything is correctly, I have to see if I have really 7, or else I'm gluing and it is not 7 blocks. And it's not what we want. So we have 5 pieces of 7 and I'm going to glue the longest side like this. So do a light line, place them immediately against each other to make sure that the glue is not running out. And number 6 and number 7 is the closure up again. You're going to squeeze it and press it together. And for everyone who uses a metal hook, just do it, because I don't like working with it, because I just get used to this one and I'm an old lady, so I'm not going to use this one. But if you have a metal hook, just use it. You will have so much fun working with it. But I always do it with my hands and feel with my fingers the straight line. But you are so free to do whatever you think is right. Again, work from within and go for it. So, and if the blocks are not totally straight, for the bottom and the top, it doesn't matter, because you're going to saw little circles out of it. So it doesn't mind if you have blocks which are not totally straight, as long as you make sure that they are on the ending and not in the middle, so you have open gaps. But if you do have open gaps, you do some wood filler inside of it, and then you still can use them. But squeeze it, and you're going to do number 4, and we are almost there already. And don't worry, I'm not going to do this whole DIY this way, so don't worry. So, and the last with the glue, and the 7 is the closure up again, and we do block number 5 of 7 to make the first. And out of this piece we're going to get 2 rounds. So this is already for the bottom and the top, but the bottom and the top is out of 2 pieces, a smaller round and a bigger round. This is for the smaller round, for the top and the bottom. So I'm going to squeeze it, wipe away the glue, also over here, go over it with your old piece of kitchen towel. And if you are ready with your DIY, you just do some dish soap on it, make it clean again, and you can even use it again. You don't have to throw it away. With wood glue, it's always going very nicely out. So again, I'm going to wait a couple of minutes, and then we're going to glue them together. I have turned my pieces, and now I'm going to place them on the side, at least 4 of them. And I'm going to make a line over here, and I'm going to make a line over here, and I only wait a couple of minutes because then I still can fill in the open gaps, if there are open gaps at least. And this is number 4. We're going to place them down this way. We place them over here, and this one over here, and this one over here. And now we're going to make sure that we are going to get them fitting nicely together. So squeeze it, and you see already little open gaps are closing in. And it doesn't matter if this is not totally straight, because you're going to saw out some rounds, so it doesn't matter. You're going to wipe away the glue, and we're going to give this at least a couple of hours resting before we're going to get our jigsaw and of course saw it out. And you see already on my table I have the second part of our top and our bottom for our lantern. Of course you need 7 rows of 10. 7 rows of 10 blocks, and also very easy. You're just going to glue them on the side, the same like you did with the other one, but the other one was 5 pieces of 7, and this is 7 pieces of 10. So very easy. I'm only going to do this together with you because you know already now how to glue them. So I have here number 9. And number 10 is of course the closure up. You're going to squeeze them from within, squeeze it, and make sure that you have a straight line, and let it rest in for a couple of minutes. So I'm going to do the rest a little faster. So again, I have my 7 pieces of 10, and I'm going to do the same. I lay 1 down, 6 are standing up, and I'm going to get my glue. I'm going to make a line over here, and I do this with all 6 of them. And over here, and like I told you, it doesn't matter if it's not a straight line because we're going to saw out our circle, so don't worry. And a number 4 of number 5, and this is number 6 of course, and we're going to place them down. This is already 1, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6, and the last number 7. So we're going to make sure that we have everything smooth, and we're going to very carefully going to fix in our pieces, and of course they will break, but it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. You can easily fix pieces which are broken because everything is still open for squeezing, so don't worry about it. Just work with it and take your time for it. I think that's the most important, that you really take your time for. And if this is really an open gap, what you still can do, maybe you can turn it over. If you do this open, and you can turn it over, do it maybe this way, maybe it fits better on this side, and maybe on this side also better. No, this doesn't fit. Then you also can turn it over this way, And is it maybe fitting a little better? Maybe you can work with it. And even when it goes open, just get your time and make sure that you squeeze all of them again together until one big piece, and then let it dry for a couple of hours. So I gave this a plank already a couple of minutes a rest, but before I'm going to leave it for a couple of hours, I did make my rounds and I used a planter, the underside of a planter, but I did the measurement of my first bigger circle is 15 centimeters, and in inches it is, I have to look for 6. So it is 15 centimeters, or in inches it is 6 inches, and I have 2 pieces of them. So if you make 7 pieces of 10, you can easily do this 2 rounds. I have here my smaller plank and I'm going to use a paint can for it, and I'm going to place this on top of here in the middle, and I'm going to make a circle out of it, the same like I did with the other one. So it's very easy, just go over it as much as you need to. Before, I'm an old lady, so I have to look for that I can see it right. And here you see the inches are, I have to look 4 and 4.4, and in centimeters it is 11 centimeters. So in centimeters 11, and in inches 4.4. Just not 4.5, but you can do of course 4.5. So I'm going to make another one, and then I'm going to leave them both a couple of hours dry. So now we're going to go further with the middle piece of our lantern, and you see already I have here 6 blocks, and I do 6 rows of 6 blocks, and I'm going to do them very easy. On the tops some glue, place them down, do also over here, and roll them together, very easy. In the middle, and we're going to do this one over here, place this one over here, and number 5, and of course number 6 is the closure up. You're going to go squeeze them from within and to the outside. Make sure that you squeeze everything, and we're going to go, oh, you see already I'm already stuck to my wood, and make sure that you have a nice straight as you can get it. I'm going to do all of them, but of course I don't do all of them together with you. I only do one extra. So you just do the tops, you place them together so the glue is not running out too much, and number 4 and a number 5, and number 6 is again the close up. You're going to give it a little squeeze, make sure that you have everything nicely in a straight line, and then go over on the tops with your piece of kitchen towel and wipe away the glue. So we're going to do all the rest, but a little faster. So I have my 6 pieces of 6 blocks, and what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do 6 pieces of 2. Very easy. You just place 2 blocks with the tops to each other. So it's very easy. Just do some glue over here and place it against each other. This one also over here, and this one over here. And the other pieces will be loose blocks because we're going to attach it with some tape. And I was forgotten to tell you, with the supplies we need also use some duct tape or adhesive tape, if I'm correctly you call it also. So we are going to squeeze it together like this, and we're going to squeeze this one. Oh, you see already I'm already stuck to my own glue now. to my own glue. So I'm going to wipe away the most of the glue I can. So I'm going to do this, and of course you see in a moment the next step. So now we get the hard part. At least you can make it your own. I'm just giving you an inspiration. So we have our 6 pieces of 6, and I will lay down one of them over here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do one of 2. I'm going to just place them against here, and we do a loose block over here, and we do here the same. We do 2 loose blocks. You have to take your time make sure that you have it in a nice straight line, because in a moment we're going to get our tape and we're going to tape it together. So we're going to place one of them over here again. So make sure that you have as straight as you can have it. Of course, one has to go a little bit backwards, and everything is fitting, because yeah, your blocks are not always straight. So take your time for it. And this is already one. Now we're going to get one of two again. We place this one over here, and we do a loose block next to it over here, and we do two loose blocks over here, place them over here and over here, and again place a one of six against it over here. He's not really fitting really nicely, so we have to work a little bit with it. Again, we're going to go and we place one over here, and be careful, we place a loose block over here. We do two loose blocks on this side and place them against each other. Get one of six again, and we're going to place them together. We do a one of two over here. We do a loose block next to it. This needs to go a little higher. I know for some people this is a little bit boring, but I hope for everyone who enjoys the step by step, I make sense. If I don't, just leave a comment down below. We do a one of six again, and we are almost there. I have to go this way. This needs to go a little bit backwards. And we go for a second block again over here. And we do a loose block next to it. We do two loose blocks over here and over here, and the one of six again, and we do this one over here, and the loose block will be over here. Of course, he's not totally fitting up the mat, so I should have done it on my table, but of course this way, and now if everything later we're going to get together, everything is fitting nicely, at least I hope. But I sometimes I am next to you, you never know. So I needed a little moment to count my pieces, and you see in totally you need to have 17 blocks in a row. If I count, I have 18. I was already thinking how it's possible that it doesn't fit on my mat, because it did when I laid it the first time. So of course this one needs to go. So we start with a piece of 6 and we end with a piece of 2. And if everything is laying nicely next to each other, this needs to go a little back, this needs to go a little back. You see, this one is stuck to this one over here, and then we're going to get our tape and we're going to glue tape our pieces together. I'm going to start with one over here and one over here, and I hope that's enough to keep it in place as long as I have it glued on top of my under pieces of my lantern. So I use this tape. It's, yeah, I don't know, 3M tape, but you can use any duct tape you like. You see already it's some curly hair, that must be for me. So I'm going to get a piece off, and I'm going to do one row in this side and one row over here, but I take my time for it, so you see in a moment how it's looking like. So you see I have my lines now, this one and this one, but now I'm going to get little pieces of tape like this, and I'm going to place them on top of here exactly in the middle. So this one gets also a little bit of sturdiness. Of course, you see where this tape is a little too long, but it's the ending, so it doesn't matter. But this one needs to be a little smaller. So I'm going to get a little smaller piece of tape, and I'm going to place it over here. Make sure that I have it inside. And is it a little bit too long, just cut it off. So, and I'm going to do this one, this one, and this one, and this one. And then we can roll it on top. You see, I have all the pieces I need, but what we get if I'm going to place this on here and I'm going to close it, you see already, I'm going to close it on the underside, but I get the opening over here. And of course the pattern is this way, but I don't like it. So I'm going to place this one down. I'm going to get one loose block and I'm going to do this one over here, and I'm going to do some tape because I don't like it the way the pattern is running. So I'm just going to make my own mind, and I'm going to do a little piece over here, and I'm going to get some tape over here, and I'm going to tape this also on top of here because I don't like it if this one is really open on the top. So I'm going to make sure I warm it up so the glue is sticking nicely off the tape. So now I have everything I need, and I'm going to paint this one in the creamy white color and this one also in the creamy white, so you don't see the tape anymore. So I will paint this, and then we're going to make our rounds. So like I told you, I'm going to do it in the creamy white color. So very easy. Oh, you see already, I make one big mess. I'm doing first this side, and then I'm going to turn it over and do the other side because I want to be sure that my tape is at least as much as I can is an other color, because in the inside you won't see the painting. I don't like if the painting is not really nice. So I'm going to paint this one also. I think the tape needs 2 times, but I take my time for it. In the moment is my paint is drying, and we're going to get our round, the bigger one and the smaller one. I'm going to go to my garage and going to get my jigsaw, and I'm going to saw both of them out because they need painting also. You see my 2 bigger round and my 2 smaller round. Of course it's not perfect because it is really hard to make a nice round with your jigsaw, at least for me. So I did my best. So what we're going to do, I have also the inside of the frame already painted. Of course not the side and on the front not, because we are going to decorate a little bit more. First before we're going to paint everything, we're going to get the 2 smaller rounds. I have here my little container with some beads, and I'm going to go for the little bit of the diamond beads. So I'm going to do 4 of them on each small piece. And I'm doing, of course, 4 on this side. I'm sorry for the noise. And I'm going to do some wood glue. Very easy before we're going to paint it, so we can paint everything in one time. It's better that you do it in one, so it gives kind of a legs on top of under our lantern. And we do one against the other one, and we do this one also in the middle of this 2, and we do here also a one against this one. So we have to look for that I have them leaning over to each other, and this one. And I'm going to give this also a couple of minutes rest before we're going to paint. I do also this one, but I won't bore you with that. I will do this out of camera. So this is how they look like. You see, I did them a little bit more on the outside so you can see them when he's standing on his own, because the bigger one is still coming over it. So we're going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. Now we get our piece over here. We're going to place this one. Now we get a couple of the other beads. And we're going to glue one on here, one on here, one on here, 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 and here. So very easy. Just place them in between the pieces. And then we can paint it also in the white color with everything else. It's easier. So you see the beads are on the top of the ending of the middle piece. We're going to let this dry in. And I'm going to go and I'm going to paint the bigger rounds. And of course the bigger rounds I'm going to do in the blue color, the dark blue. I'm going to do the smaller rounds in the red, and of course the rest of the other piece will be in the creamy white extra. So I'm going to do some blue on this one. So we painted already the first side in the red and the blue color. We're going to let this dry. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my other placemat, place it down, and now you already see we have our beads on top of here, and we're ready to paint. Of course we do this a little bit extra in the inside, but before we're going to do it, we're going to tape it on top of each other, because we still need a tape one over here and we need a tape on the top to make it a full round. So I'm going to do some easy piece of tape, and you can do it this any way you like, because it's no rhyme or reason how you must do it. So I'm going to place it one over here and this way, And I place also one on the other side over here. And of course I'm going to paint this in a moment also, because you don't want to see the tape from the inside. And again, make it a little bit warm so it sticks a little better. So this way. And now we're going to make sure that we're going to get it very nicely sticking on top of here. And that's a little bit of a task. Normally I would place it down and place this on top of each other, but I don't know if this will work or not. We will see. I have to make sure that I have this one totally over here, and this one needs to be really tight over here. I don't, you see already, this is not tight enough, so I have to remove this one and make sure that I have it as tight as I can next to each other this way. And I make it a little warm with my hands so it sticks very nicely. And then I'm going to paint the whole piece, and of course the inside, which is not nicely painted yet. So, and now I'm going to have it ready for painting. You see already in each corner things are drying. We have now 3 wooden letters. I don't know, you can use some Scrabble letters, you can use any letter, and on the top you can decorate it any way you like. And I have here 4 pieces of the same beads I did use on the underside of our lantern. I'm going to paint the 3 letters USA in the creamy color, the same like I did with this one. And I'm going to do 2 pieces in the the beads in the blue and 1 in the red. So it's very easy. I'm going to paint them, but I won't bore you with that. So I painted my pieces. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get the U, and I'm going to get the A first, and I'm going to do some glue on the underside on the feet. So a little glue over here, at least when my glue is coming out, and he's not coming out. He's not really in the mood for gluing anymore. So I don't know what's wrong, but he is not really in the mood. And again, a little over here, I'm going to get 2 of my blue beads, and I'm going to place them on top of here. And I do the other one on the other feet. And again, squeeze it and let this dry in for at least a couple of minutes. Get the U, and we're going to do some glue in the middle also over here, and we're going to glue also a blue one under here. So very careful, just place it in the middle, make sure that you have it in the middle, and squeeze it. And we're going to let this rest also. Now we take the S, the letter S, and we're going to, I have to look for on the underside, we're going to do some glue also. And we're going to place the red one, of course, in the middle. Be sure that you have it in the middle. And I'm going to give this also a couple of minutes. And now we're going to do stack them carefully on top of each other. So we do a little glue on the A, and we're going to place letter S on top of here. And of course it is a little bit tricky. We have to build it. And we're going to let this dry in. At least I hope that it will dry in. I'm going to squeeze it. And I'm going to wait a couple of minutes before I do the U on top. So the next step will be, we're going to take a piece of kitchen towel, of paper, how you call it. I'm going to place one of the rounds. I'm going to get my frame of my lantern, and I'm going to look for which one is the most steady on the ground, because sometimes it is a little difficult, sometimes it's this side, sometimes it's the other one. You have to look for, I think the other one is, this is the best side. So I'm going to do some glue on the tops. I hope you can see it on camera, but I think you already know what to do. I'm just going to do some glue on each of the blocks. Go around like this, and we're going to turn it over this way, and we're going to make sure that we have it as much as we can in the middle, and we're going to place it down, and then we're going to give our round the shape we want to have it. And we're going to go around, and you see already I have much too much over here, so I'm going to go over here, And that's the greatest, you still can redo it. I thought I had it in the middle, but I didn't. You see already I didn't. So I have to go and take this one a little more this side. So I'm going to take my time for it. Of course, you take your time for it also, because DIYing is not always going smooth and perfect and great, because at least not mine. So I'm going to place it in the middle, and then I'm going to wipe away the glue. And this is already also behind the scenes. I'm going to place a little cork you find at IKEA. I use them for everything. I'm going to place it on top, and I'm going to place my paint can on top to give it some pressure so it can suck in really good in the wood here down below. So I take my time for it. I give it at least an hour, and then we're going to do the red parts. So I did place off my paint can and of course my cork. Now I'm going to very carefully get it on the side, and I'm going to place it over here. I'm going to get my little red piece with the knobs under it. I'm going to do some glue in the middle, very easy, and do enough over here. So we're going to place it this way. I'm going to place this, I'm going to get this up, and I'm going to turn it over this way, and I'm going to place this one exactly, I have to stand up for it, exactly in the middle this way, and I'm going to give it some pressure and make sure that everything dries in. And of course I'm going to give it at least an hour before I'm going to turn it over. In the meantime, while this is drying on the side, I'm going to get my other piece of blue color, and of course I'm going to place this one on top of here also. So we do some glue over here, the same like we did with the other one, over here. And we place this exactly in the middle. Of course, I'm going to do the stripes in the same direction. Over here, give it a little bit of pressure. And we're going to give it a couple of minutes rest. So I gave it at least a half hour. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get this on top, do some glue on the underfeet, a little drop over here and a little drop over here. And I'm going to place it exactly in the middle. Of course, I have to look for 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think I'm going to do it over here and place it in the middle, and I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure, and we're going to let this rest also. And this is already the main part of our lantern. You see in a moment how I decorated it. So then you see the quick impression. Yes, you don't see the quick impression yet. You see it in a moment, but maybe you were already thinking, why is ending so strange? Because I was already in my mind thinking, how can I give this a more high-end look? Because I find it a little bit too normal. So I'm going to get the beads, and I'm going to paint them, a couple of them in the creamy color, and I'm going to place them around. But you can give your own twist on it, do whatever you think it's right, but I like a couple of them around here. And now you see, really in a moment, you see the quick impression how this is turned out. And you see finally a quick impression of my tumbling tile blocks patriotic lantern, and I'm so happy how it finally turned out. Of course, you can use the top also, but I'm going to use the top as a sign, but you can decorate it any way you like. Of course, I hope you take out your tumbling tile blocks too and try this DIY also. And if you're only here to watch, I hope you had fun watching. For everyone who is new, I hope you enjoy what you see. And if you do, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give us a thumbs up and hit the bell so you will be notified every time we upload new DIYs. For more DIYs, come on over to our description box. There you find the link for our DIY channels. Enough talking. I wish you all an amazing day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.